and thanks for joining us for the talk segment. And I have my guest this morning, Joe Wise. Joe Osewusu is a member of parliament for Bekwai, legal practitioner, former chief executive for the DVLA. And thanks for joining me, sir.
Thank you very much.
You were in the house yesterday when you made sure your lights were out. And they didn't
we didn't make sure it was
Well, the last time it was off. And you decided to set up committee, and nothing happened.
Well, I don't know what the committee has done. I suspect that they may have briefed the speaker, because the speaker's committee, ordinarily, they should put a full report before the House. But I suspect they may have briefed the speaker what they found out, because I learned that procurement is already ongoing to replace the existing generators, which are about 19 years old.
So they are 19 years old?
That's right. That's what we are told. They were procured in 1996. So 19 years. Should have replaced them a long time ago. So
at least you know how we feel now, since many of you use generators. And
no, but we have always known what we all feel. I mean, Parliament is our workplace. We all close and go home, and we are dispersed in the community. People think that there's a place called MP's Cottage. No, there's no such place now. We live in the community. Everybody rents his own apartment if you don't own your own. So every experience that other Ghanaians have, we also have the same experience. Forgive me, this is very embarrassing. We also have the same experience. So what happened yesterday, for me, is not new. It happens every morning in my house. You wake up 6 a.m. by 8 o'clock in the morning. If you haven't done your ironing and things and washed down, you're done. You have to carry water upstairs to go and have your bath and so on. It happens to me very frequently. So it was not new.
But at what point do we have to wait till Parliament's generator doesn't work or becomes faulty, so to speak, before we put in the processes for replacement? Is it not too late in the day, or we have not been proactive about it?
Well, sometimes until the thing fails, we assume that it is in working condition. The generator has been around for a while, though, but it has been designed such that maximum 2 minutes after the main supply goes off, the generator should come on. So when this time it failed to come on, we advised that the technical team moved on quickly and tried to find out, and it turned out that it needed further attention before it would respond. So it took them close to 1 hour to be able to restore it.
And then you came back to the house?
We came back to the house. We sat through till nearly 7 p.m.
Oh, okay. All right. We're told that at least it's a microcosm of what the general population is feeling.
Yes, except that maybe not many people have generators. So if it were some other business, for example, the barber close to my house, that would have been the end of his business for the day. So this is Parliament as an institution is the privileged one which has standby generators. But for many ordinary Ghanaians, there are no standby generators which will even
So you were in the dark place?
I was.
I see.
I was. I'm sure.
It was not too dark, was it?
Oh, well, dark enough to...
You could find your way around.
Oh, well, we used
the
phone lights to guide the speaker out.
Thank God for technology. All right, so we're hoping that at least we can rectify this, providing a new generator for the main house, where they have the main sitting before the close of the year. And you can see some of the members making fun of the event or the incident, so to speak. But it's really a serious subject, is it not?
It is. It is.
Okay.
It is. I mean, but as you said, it's a reflection of what businesses experience. Now, whatever amount it is going to cost Parliament to reinstate that, whether it is in fuel or technical services, we should understand that if it were a private business, that is additional cost, which probably had not been programmed the year. So it puts its business financing in disarray. And so for us, we experience it. We have business people, some of us are businessmen, and in our everyday domestic settings, we experience the same things.
Okay. Today, we're told that the report by the Privileges Committee on Investigations into Contempt against Professor Alex Dodu and the broadcaster Black Rasta, known in private life as Abubakar Ahmed. It will be a decision will be taken today. Is that what it means?
Well,
what's the procedure?
The procedure is that the committee, after interrogating them, will present their report to the plenary, and the plenary will then take a decision. So far, I'm not aware that the report has been filed in the House. Probably they are going to have final meetings with them. But the recommendations they make will come to the whole House, and the House will take a decision whether the recommendation should be accepted, whether the recommendation should be rejected, or whether they should be varied.
How do we reconcile that with the reports that you're calling them back into the House? Is it the Privileges Committee that will be sitting and calling them back?
Most likely.
Okay.
And
to say this is the reports,
no,
the
they
decision by the House?
Probably will be discussing their conclusions with them. But when the report comes to the House, it may make one or two recommendations. It's either you apologize in writing, or if it is a more serious case, you're called to the floor of the House and we say you apologize from the bar. And then you may be advised by the Speaker and other members. Or if Parliament feels strongly about the conduct, Parliament may refer your conduct to the Attorney General to prosecute you for contempt.
I see. That's what we haven't got into in a while. Even in the British practice, since the 1700s, we haven't seen anything.
So far, I'm not aware of any.
What would you advocate? I know you're a single member, but I shouldn't put you on the spot.
Oh, well, I'm not a member of the committee.
I know. It will come to the committee of the whole. At the end of the day, you're part of it.
Well, you see, it's like litigation in respect of defamation. The real object is to reinstate the person's defamed.
That is, you, the MPs, you're defamed.
I'm making an analogy. When you take an action against somebody for defamation, the real object is the person to remedy your defamed character, to reinstate you to a character of nobility which has been defamed. Now, it's the same thing here. Once the person acknowledges that this constitutional body has these privileges, that you can criticize it as much as you like, but you don't do or say or refuse to do anything that either inhibits it in its work or bring the institution into disrepute, or the Speaker or a member into disrepute. You may be just asked to apologize, and if people feel strongly, you may be called into the floor of the House. But largely, to let you recognize the limits, what you can do and what you cannot do. I'm not aware that in Ghana it has ever happened, that the procedure in Act 300 has ever been used, which is Parliament Act, which recommends that Attorney General may be instructed. In fact, the word there is instruct the Attorney General to prosecute the person.
Okay, we'll see how that goes with them. I was asking you which one you advocate, but I think you don't want to.
No, because in the past I am in respect of the suggestion that we smoke weed. I was very angry.
You were.
I was.
But now cool heads have
prevailed. Yes.
You don't smoke, do you?
I don't smoke.
Do you know any of your colleagues who do?
So far, I'm not aware of any.
You can't look at somebody and say, you can't make such.
There's nobody that. There's 275 of us. There's none that I see any symptoms of that. It doesn't mean that everybody else is free, but I'm saying that the generalization, and that same thing goes for Professor Dodu. I may make a very stupid comment, point it out, show that in a discussion, expose my weakness in thinking. That is criticism. You lump the institution together and say you're ignorant. And for me, I could expose his ignorance in other things that he had never thought about. That doesn't mean that he's ignorant. Everybody has his expertise, you know. But that's the essence of having committees. When anything matter is put before you, Parliament is empowered to bring people who have knowledge to come and brief them, including he himself. When we're discussing our budget, he was brought in to discuss matters. So the thing that he has told us, he has informed us. Are we ignorant? Because in the discussion we're having, people did not show that they have as much information as he had. That is the line.
They couldn't show that they had as much knowledge
of the matter.
That's different from information, isn't it?
Well, what is knowledge? It's information.
Okay. All right. For all the things that have been said, for which Parliament has brought all these people before the Privileges Committee, the vehicle has been the media that was used. Are you worried that widely it is the media that is just allowing its platforms or its mediums to be used to propagate some of these things, so to speak, perhaps tarnish people's rights, integrity, and things like that?
I think to a large extent the media is neglecting its responsibility to sift and sanitize the airwaves, in particular the electronic media. They have allowed too much indecent language and bad-mouthing in our public discourse. Too much of that. And sometimes, honestly, when I'm invited to a radio or TV discussions we're doing, I wonder, what am I doing? Because public discussion is now becoming more like a sport, a political sport. Who can best outlie? Who can speak the most offensive language sometimes? Sometimes who can twist the facts? Who can, what are the words you use? You have a special word that you use, I'm trying to remember. Like in other words, scheming. You have a special word that the media use. Like how much propaganda you can spew. The facts are sacrificed. Logic is sacrificed. And indeed, truth is stood on its head all the time. Because I think, mostly, that those of you who are the hosts either are unwilling to hold people to the truth as you know, or you think that because two political factions are involved, you should not get involved. But it is your medium. You are leading the discussion. So if I come here and lie and you have the facts, I think it's your responsibility to confront me with the facts. But too often...
Because if you ask me, I haven't practiced for 15 years, I feel that the quality of the personnel in the media have improved than what I saw in the past. Perhaps, maybe the way they undertake their duties.
The challenge is not the quality.
Okay.
The challenge is the mindset.
The mindset.
The challenge is the competition to get attention and the belief that controversy gets your attention. It is demeaning and...
Well, indeed, all over the world, controversy really sets the agenda for many public discourses.
But you see, Roland, when we came here, you've given me a write-up, which suggests that you have done some research. Now, if I was speaking to, let's say, things relating to, let's say, Public Conduct Act, I would assume that you'd have done some research. And so when I make unfruitful statements, it is your responsibility to challenge me with the truth.
You haven't had the experiences where you think, if you do an analysis of what you hear, what you read, and what you listen to, you think that sometimes not adequate research has been undertaken by those?
A lot of the times that the host himself appears to be following the argument rather than controlling the discussion.
He rather is being educated.
That's right.
Instead of him also participating and also
asking and directing the discussions.
I get your point. Now, the essence of the whole media, we're told, as an objective is in threefold: inform, educate, and entertain. Do you think that for all the things that we've been doing, especially in the Fourth Republic or the last 10 years, we've lost sight of that, and especially becoming a lot more endemic these last few years, that we don't inform,
I think in the last
we don't educate enough?
Yes, in the last few years, as regard politics, you've become more aligned. Too many of the discussions have exposed the hosts as more aligned than objective.
Okay. Which one do you think I'm aligned to?
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
I'm talking about hosts too often. And in other words, those who do not even show any bias or alignment are not willing to step into the discussion and correct wrong impressions, correct misinformation, because they fear that they may be accused of being aligned or otherwise. But I think your responsibility, if you bring me here, it is in my interest to skew facts to give advantage to my party. But if you are properly researched, it's your responsibility to confront me with the true facts, challenge me, and, you know, let the public know that even though ourselves who is interpreting the thing this way, the true facts are this.
Okay.